women, they're like in a spaghetti cocktail dress.
Yeah.
Nowhere to put the pads, and they're, yeah, oh, and then you'll be falling down the stairs. Oh, okay, so hats off to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, they could only, I can only imagine, they could only hope for a scene where someone is fully clothed.
Yeah, I'm not rolling down the stairs in a cocktail dress or naked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I have one time, but
Congratulations for being a part of this incredible series that I'm looking forward to. Essentially a spin-off from Blue Bloods. Donnie Wahlberg is coming over and helping with Boston Blue. And like, I'm looking forward to it. I've seen a couple of trailers for it already. I loved Blue Bloods, and I thought it was just amazing storytelling. And again, congratulations. I don't know how else other than to say that, other than this has got to be a lot of fun and exciting.
thank you. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't think of, you mentioned 100 credits. I don't think of things that way, but when it's mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, I've been very, very lucky and very fortunate to work in film and television here in Vancouver, and other places, but Vancouver definitely has a established film machine, movie making machine that really helps the actors that live here work. I don't know if I would have the resume, honestly, that I do have if the American film machine didn't come up here to put together their movies.
Yeah. It is kind of wild. Like, I've been aware of this for many years. In fact, the first time I even realized that Vancouver and the Lower Mainland could be anywhere was a Jackie Chan movie from many years ago. Because yes, exactly. And it kind of just, that's the first time I recognized it. And so now to consider that Vancouver is essentially now Boston is also kind of wild. And
we actually filmed that in Toronto.
Oh, okay, cool.
But still Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is kind of cool though, because like we do have that sort of, in Canada, we do have that sort of ability to be anywhere else in basically in North America.
Yeah, we have wonderful film crews here.
Yeah.
This is a world destination for filmmakers and film schools and film lovers. It's Vancouver is it's a sweet spot. I really do appreciate being a Vancouver actor. Like I said before, a lot of the big budget films that I've worked on, I really feel I worked on them because I was here as an actor in Vancouver already. So we got strong crews, directors, writers, everything.
Yeah. With this new series, and we will get into more about your history and your career, but with this new series, I think I can't help but be a little bit jealous of the opportunity you got to work with in this pilot episode, which I don't. Far be it from me to give any spoilers, but
it's weird, right? It's like,
walking that fine line. But Donnie Wahlberg and Ernie Hudson are already in the credits, and that's again like talking about bucket list stuff. Like, to me, Ernie Hudson for me would be amazing. Did you get a chance to share some scenes with him? Or?
I didn't have any scenes with him, but he when I got to Toronto, we did a Zoom read, cast read. I was in Vancouver, some people were in LA,
right.
And I met him through that. But then when I got to Toronto, people were saying, have you seen Ernie? And I haven't seen him yet, but meaning he's I believe he's 80 years old.
Yeah.
He is fit. He is like a very muscular man, and looks good, and so it was quite the honor to to be working amongst these people. I spent quite a bit of time with Donnie Wahlberg on my first day. I was sitting in the green room with where the actress sit to give us a place to be to get our heads together and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was sitting with Sonequa Martin Green, who is from Walking Dead and Star Trek Discovery. It was her and Donnie Wahlberg, and I happen to know that Donnie Wahlberg, Blue Bloods was around 15 seasons.
Yeah.
So 15 years. And I just said to him, Donnie, I just want to thank you very much for this opportunity. And, he's such a grounded individual. He's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And I'm like, really, you didn't do anything? 15 years of Blue Bloods, you're executive producer now, you're executive producer of Boston Blue. You didn't do anything? And then I told him as well, that's to show how, he's just very magnanimous is the word I would use. And personable. Yeah. And I said to him, I personally, he's one of my favorite actors. I really like his very natural, not throwaway style, but just to the point style. There's no over this or over that. And I told him that, I think you're one of my favorite actors. I really like the way you do your thing. And he had a script in his hand, and he did this, and he goes, "Oh, come on." he was actually blushing, man.
He's a very humble character, I get.
Yeah, he's a huge star in many aspects, many levels. He still tours with New Kids on the Block. He's executive producer of the show, 15 years in Blue Bloods. But and so he, the way I just appreciate the way that he is. He's they say don't meet your heroes, and he surely did not let me down.
That's
not
cool.
that it's for him to get the approval of Dean Redman or anything, but he definitely he appreciates what he has and appreciates people, which is the same with Sonequa.
It is heartwarming to hear that there's people in the industry, not just your industry, but in industries in general, who are they're human, they're personable, they like to make connections, and they wear their their emotions on their sleeve instead of just being rigid and stiff and jaded and stuff like that. Yeah. I would hope that it just helps to make the environment, no matter what situation, that much more comfortable and personable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been on sets before, and I'm not going to, mention any names, but there is a stigma around big stars, and you don't want to. It's not said, but you can just feel the energy, and I really appreciate working with people, period.
Yeah.
But people who put positive energy into the room. And there are some people that, for lack of a better term, suck it right out of the room. You know what I mean? It's just uncomfortable. And is it me? Is it him? Is it this? And so with this particular, most of the film sets, it's rare. There's been a few occasions where it's like, well, okay, gotta do this all day. But yeah, pretty down to earth, but the Boston Blue series has already a freight train just
right
with full motion, right? So there's a lot of fans behind it, and I am truly honored to be invited to this already successful franchise.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
You mentioned earlier that you were impressed by the physique and the health of Mr. Ernie Hudson. That's quite a compliment coming from a gentleman of your size and stature. You are no slouch, sir. You.
I got a pillow behind.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It's an old Hollywood trick. It's the old pillow behind the back trick.
No, but you from what I can tell, you keep yourself in incredible shape, and and you're very healthy and very active, and like it shows in a lot of your prior roles, and even your social media feed and stuff like that. Like it contribute to how you take care of yourself. That's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase I'm looking for. And it shows like when you're up on screen, because you've played many roles of an authority figure of some sort, a firefighter and a soldier and an officer and stuff like that. And you embody that character, but at the same time, it's amazing how you're able to transition from being this one very stiff character to someone who is emotional and approachable and also vulnerable. So that is an amazing.
That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that.
Your role, like being in front of this commanding army for the Planet of the Apes, or War for the Planet of the Apes, is like ingrained into my memory. And when I had the opportunity to interview you, like, holy shit, it's him. So
it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that just by all means. It's just I'm just in awe of how you handle yourself.
It's all lighting. It's all lighting.
It's all lighting.
Excuse me. I had worked with, because I have a background in martial arts and weapons and things, so I was a good candidate for that role.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they wanted was to have a individual who could project his voice, because you saw how many soldiers. That was no CG.
Oh, really?
You saw how many soldiers there were, and I'm doing a vocal cadence, but not toward them; it's away from them. So I had to. So I met with a military vocal cadence officer. With a firearms. Like I got a lot of help, and had to learn it in a very, very quick time. But it was a very interesting role that really stuck with me. When I saw the footage later on, it was just it scared me, because I was like, holy, like I pulled it off.
Yeah,
because it was a big. We did that the marching and these things many times. So yeah, it was scary. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, like, I want to do a good job, but I don't want to be in my head at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, and working with Woody Harrelson was Woody Harrelson and Andy Serkis and who else? There's many other actors there. It was quite the experience, and I learned a lot quickly from more about the naturalness of being. Yeah, this is a big budget film. We got a lot to do. So get over yourself. Let's just stick to the story here and. Find the vulnerability, because any character that I play, the first thing that I look for is, he could be General Johnson, but what is his vulnerability? What is he scared of? What makes him tick? Not what does he put out there? What is the image he wants people to see? But what's really going on with this guy?
Yeah,
and I find that's where the dynamic of the strong characters that I play is complemented by the vulnerability of the truth of that character.
It is kind of interesting. Like a lot of actors that I've had the fortunate pleasure of speaking with, they always do the same thing too. Where it's like, okay, what is it that brought my character to this point? It's more than just lines on a script. This is what this character is feeling in this moment, and what is it that brought this person to this moment to say this thing in this way,
and who am I speaking to? If I was speaking to my mother as opposed to some, if I was asking my mother, where are you going, as opposed to some guy that just grabbed my wallet. Hey, what the fuck? You get a little different. So all those, I feel acting. I mean, it's called acting, but I really not going to say I don't like that term. But for me, it's actually reacting to a situation or a person on, and often images and sounds and situations that aren't there. So I have to create these in my mind, and hopefully they are captured in such a way that it comes off as a real moment. So when I say reactor, it's because a big part of acting that I had to learn is that listening is important, or even more so important than the actual speaking. I find nowadays with the internet and things, often people are looking for a hack, the quick way to do it. How do I get it? Well, just do the work, make the mistakes, go through it. I mean, there's never been a mistake or a situation I've been through that did not go the way I wanted it to, that I didn't learn or did not have the opportunity to learn from. It's up to me to see the bigger picture of how do this, but don't do that again. So it's very interesting being an actor. So many, you're making like sometimes 60 decisions per minute or even more, whatever the numbers are. Mm-hmm. It's more than just saying words, punchline words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you get caught acting.
That's fair. You mentioned learning from mistakes, taking your bumps, also absorbing, making 60 decisions within a split second. And like, this is kind of sounds like a lot of things to do with your martial arts background. What is it that you have studied in, and what led you to start in martial arts?
My background, I would pretty much say, is Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Yeah.
I got into it just to pretty much, be fit, because you're jumping, you're punching, and these Muay Thai guys, they all look fit. So what is it that they're doing? I want to have that kind of, and it's also discipline as well. What got me into it was, just wanting to, because I used to, years ago, for a little spell, I was a fitness model.
Okay.
But working out with weights, it does. I mean, I'm not going to say I hate working out, but for example, I get up at 4:20 in the morning, every morning, get to the gym by about 5, and not because I want to be the first guy there, but I just want to get it over with, get it done and get it out, because I don't enjoy working out. I'm like, I'm such a great, if I don't do that, I find, are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of David Goggins?
Yes.
Okay, well, David Goggins, I've learned a lot, and I don't want to call him, if you know who he is, I wouldn't call him a motivational speaker. It's more like real talk. Like, you want to get fit and start from working out.
Yeah.
Make a plan, and then, have these, just get it, just start now,
Yeah.
So I get up in the morning and suffer for an hour and a half, and then, I have the rest of the day to, the world has another 22 hours to mess with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you take care of myself? Okay, so what do you got? I'm already done. What?
Yeah.
It's kind of like my odd way of looking at things.
Yeah. My girlfriend's the same way. She prefers to get a workout in early ass in the morning, even before she even starts work. Whereas me, like, I'm like middle of the day, sometime before noon, 1 o'clock, and I'll be hitting the gym. But I do get it, because I understand how it can be basically like feeling as though you've already accomplished the most physical part of the day, the most challenging part of the day, before your day even gets started. So I can appreciate that sort of mindset. But Muay Thai boxing, like, I'm aware of the martial art, but I am not aware, like, I'm not all that familiar with the strategy, the procedure, the technique, or even competition or promotions.
Yeah, I didn't get into the competition. Like I said, I got into it more for the discipline and the physical workout, because I box as well.
Okay.
And I just found that, like I was saying, weights, they get, literally repetitious.
Yeah.
So just finding other things that I could do that were interesting to me. But that definitely helped. Sometimes when I was a lot of the roles I've done in the past, as you mentioned, are military based. So full tactical gear. Yeah. You got a AR-15 or something, and being up for sometimes 14 hours in a day. It you got to have, for the roles that I do, and as far as in my opinion, you've got to have some stamina in order to be ready when they say, not just ready when you are. To be able to just maintain a kind of like have something to reserve when you're out.
Yeah,
just, you know what I mean? Because they say in the film business it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah,
and it really is. So don't get comfortable. So the working out really does help me as far as my discipline and things like that. It's the Muay Thai, the discipline of Muay Thai it taught me that I can, if I just try one more, I have more than I think that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And they always say that it's a saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
When it comes to acting and things like that, I've also learned things that I'm giving myself the right to understand and embrace that when I'm in a scene or, self-tapes and things like that, you don't know exactly what they want, so you've got to make solid decisions. It's okay to invite my brain to attack me, because that's exactly what's happening when you're talking to somebody that's not there, and you got to remember all this dialogue, and here comes that big speech. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand it being a little bit difficult, because I do know that there's sometimes, like even my own line of work, there will be a few lines here that I can belt out, not a big deal, but towards the end of a shift or the end of a day or any sort of slog that I might find myself into, if I think about stuff that's too far ahead, or that big thing that I gotta rattle off, like I do know the importance of having that energy, but also having the focus of be in the moment, but be prepared for this coming up. That is important to have.
So for example, doing auditions and things, as a young actor, you want to book pretty much every audition. You'd love to book each audition, but I've learned that, you've got to go through things in order to really be realistic about it, because there's a lot of things that I've learned that I've just thrown away, and I wouldn't be able to throw them away had I not learned them.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a point where you're willing to make mistakes and try this, because what works for you, JD, may also work for me, but 2 weeks later doesn't work for you anymore.
Yeah.
And still works for me. So it's just it's finding that, like, I've heard people speak of life balance. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? What life balance? I mean, only thing I can guarantee is that after I wake up, I'm going to try to get myself to the gym. After that, pretty much bring it on, baby.
Yeah.
What are you doing next week? I have no idea. I know what I'm auditioning, but I could get a call. That thing you did 6 months ago? No, well, they need you in Abu Dhabi. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's fair. You mentioned earlier, the dangerous and the boredom of repetition. And I think it's wild that you've expanded your palette, your work ethic, as well as your skills into voice acting. Your credits are in anime, in different projects, film and television. And I am a big fan of Black Lagoon. And love it, absolutely love it. And so again, once I found out I was going to get a chance to talk to you, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Black Lagoon was it was my first voice gig, to be honest. And I was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Japan, and I got a email or something from my agent that I booked this lead role in a series. I was like, wow, okay. And then it came back, and I just, because as you know, Black Lagoon is Japanimate actually done in Japanese. And so I have to take the English version, make the English version. And sorry, because there's things called mouth flaps.
Okay.
So if I say, how are you? If that's said in Japanese, if it opens 5 times, I've got to come up with the English version of how are you, but there's two extra flaps. So how are you doing today? Like, so we because English does not translate over into Japanese and Japanese. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm playing with puppets here.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It is a lot of fun. The character Dutch I play. He's 7'5". He's like I think 550 pounds, big. You know.
Yeah.
And he although he's this big, hulking, impressively powerful man, he is also a very soft soul because Revy, the girl who goes nuts, he's there to calm. Like the most dangerous person in that crew is Revy.
Yeah.
The most vulnerable person in that crew is Revy
because
she's always trying to figure, she's always trying to solve her problems with violence, which really doesn't. He's not a good way to do things.
Of course.
But I love playing Dutch because he was very practical, magnanimous. Although these guys are mercenaries in where are they from? It's in Malaysia, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it's like I'll be honest, like I'm a fan, but it's been a bit.
In the mangroves, yeah. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was a very, very wonderful role for me, and I got thrown into a lead role. So from that aspect, I learned a lot, and my voice just seemed for them to match what they were looking for, as far as a leader, but also practical, and there's a certain. I now can hear it, but there is a definite certain uniqueness to my voice that I like.
Yes.
But I didn't hear it until I have a friend who does voice as well. And as far as I'm concerned, his voice is deeper than mine. And he goes, what? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, well, your voice is deep. And he thinks my voice is deeper than his. But what we realized is that when I'm speaking, he's hearing my voice, the waves of it.
Right.
Let's say first generation.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is an afterthought, an echo. So I'm not hearing my voice as true as anybody else would. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the voice thing, I had, I've done a lot of voice, but mainly voice characters with this timbre or this texture that my voice has, which is fine by me.
I was gonna say timbre. There was a former broadcast host I was fortunate enough to work under, and he would always compliment someone on their timbre. Like you can have a low voice, but someone could have lacking that depth within their vocal range, whereas like yourself, you have that sort of like timbre, authoritative, like an underlaying bass to your voice that carries through. Like great speaking, great volume, great projection, but it's what follows, and I find it's the breath after. Exactly.
Your voice, I'm listening to voice. I like your voice.
Thank you.
You're very your words are clear and specific. You're not just like it's annoying to try to figure out what the hell are you talking about.
Yeah.
But your diction, that's the word I'm looking for.
I appreciate that. Well, I'll admit the fact that we're late in the day on a Wednesday, so both of us are just maybe just a little scattered. But I appreciate that.
I've been up since 4. But this is good. This is the good part of my profession. There's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of looking at the calendar and not seeing anything, and all of a sudden
yeah, that's fair.
There's no balance. It's like I have to be ready for be smart about my finances and things like that. When someone comes in, I've got to cut it up into 4. This is for this. This is for that. This is this. Because you have dry months and things like that, and it's, I don't know what people think, but there are days as an actor that, sometimes I didn't even make it to camera.
Right.
Just paying me.
Yeah.
But then there are other days where I get to set and, I got a big monologue or a big scene, and I could go to the trailer and they'll have the script just sitting on the,
right.
thing. And one time I looked at it and I'm like, this is not, whose is this? And I thought it was a mistake. And they're like, oh yeah, so all that stuff you learned 2 weeks ago, we just changed it. So ready in 5?
Oh my God.
What do you got to do as an actor? It's like, yeah, sure. Okay. On the inside, you have a serious meltdown. But if I had told myself, well, I can't do this, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
I told myself I could do it. I did it. So now I can't say I can't do it. So I'm not saying I can do anything, but we can, if we just focus on the task, all of the insecurities, they have a place, but it's one thing I've learned is to, let them know when they're not needed. Yeah. If that makes, I know you're here, but we'll talk right now. I got some work to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. It is something that I've been learning for a little while, and maybe it's like a worst kept secret, but like when it comes to a movie or even a cartoon or a TV series, like you do initially get a script, but that script is not concrete until it hits the editing room. And even still, sometimes there are adjustments to be made. Do you find yourself in a situation where you have the ability or opening to make a suggestion or make an ad lib or anything in that nature?
Yeah. Well, sometimes what they have is they'll have the script, but then say a line, but underneath it'll say alt, ALT, and it'll be an alternate version of that same idea.
Okay.
And sometimes, yes, sometimes sometimes you just say words and it makes sense, but it just doesn't feel, it sounds mechanical or whatever. So I will suggest things, but I do, try to remind myself that I'm an actor. Writers write the script. They choose the actors because they choose the actors that they feel can best emulate what they wrote down. I'm not hired to mess with your script. I'm here to elevate it.
Right.
So I when it comes to writers, though, I'm very I'm not sensitive, but
patient.
Well, I'm very, I respect what they, I respect their words. I may not say it that way, but it's not me. I'm Jack Johnson or something.
Right. That's fair.
Or Commander Hansen or something, and this is how he speaks. Okay. I wouldn't say that way, but no problem. So, yeah. But every once in a while I've done some writing. It's on the fly, but more so with the Japanese to English.
Ah, okay. You
got to find another 2 words
to make the lip movement make sense. That makes sense. Absolutely.
That's fun. I like that. It's kind of a challenge.
Were you scouted for Black Lagoon, or did you offer up your voice? Like, how did that come to be?
I was selected amongst many other voice actors I was called in for an audition.
Okay. That's
cool.
Called
to the studio.
Yeah.
They don't do that so much anymore. Now you just record on your phone and then send an MP4, MP3 in.
Right.
At that time, I was called into the studio, and then there's a callback, and then there's sometimes a second callback, and then it's sometimes it's like, just give me the job already. But they just want to make sure they've got the right person. But I was not scouted per se. I was read.
Gotcha. That's fair.
And it's nerve wracking because you want to say you want to do it right, but you don't know what right is.
Right.
So,
That's fair. You mentioned earlier working in Canada, Vancouver. You've had the fortunate ability or opportunity, I should say, to work on series such as Smallville, SG-1, Da Vinci's Inquest, even The Dead Zone. Is there a series that was filmed, let's say Vancouver or Toronto, that you wanted to have your name stapled to, but didn't quite get the chance?
I mean, there's many. I mean, there's things that I would like to have read for, but didn't read for. But I don't. I mean, that's a good question. Yeah. But I mean, there's enough work out there for my voice and my, my wheelhouse, not wheelhouse, but my makeup, so that I don't, I have to be very careful of how I view things, because if I put myself in a position of, I didn't get that job, I didn't get this job, then I'm looking at the negative side of things, and I can really turn into, me being a negative person.
That's fair.
Not that I'm, can't be a jerk sometimes, but
sometimes we have to be.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, it'll be more so something that I auditioned for, then I got a call back, then they waited 2 months, and then I got another call back, and boom, then didn't get it. Those ones, those ones, are this kind of the stressful ones, because when I audition for something, I'll look at when it plays. Yeah. So for example, if it's January 1st and it plays January 15th, if I haven't gotten a call by at least the 11th or 12th, I probably didn't get it. So then I could take that out of my mental bandwidth and focus on other things, because the mind really gets caught up with, because learning 12 pages of dialogue, we don't have to do that so much anymore for auditions, but before, learning 12 pages of dialogue, that that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But when you don't get it, what I feel now, the thing to do is the only thing you can be concerned with, what you can control. Right. And what I can control is what I do when I'm in the room auditioning or is recording to send off a tape. Every other thing after I press send to my agent, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I had to go through not every time the phone rings, is it, I wouldn't tell some young actor, just do it, forget it. Yeah. Go do it. Go crazy, go see how big the universe of insecurity and whatever is, and then come back home.
Yeah.
But, so it's, I've just found a lot of calm in, if I was to book every audition, everything that I read for, I wouldn't be able to honor the contract anyway.
That's
fair.
Can't
be in Cleveland and New York at the same time. Well, maybe you might be able to in the future, but yeah.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
In regards to things you can control, like you also have been called upon to do stunts and a little bit of aggressive work. Is this something that you look forward to, or is it like something like, hey, I can do this and I can do this?
Well, now the roles that I'm getting, before for a little while I was strictly pursuing stunts, but knew that I could act, so I became a stunt actor.
Okay.
But if the stunt actor gets hurt, then they're gonna put somebody else in, and I found that nowadays the roles that I am doing, if I will have a stunt double, and being a guy who did some stunts before, I figured, well, I can do that, but I have a different take on that now. It's like you have some actors, in my opinion, that they're one of the lead actors in the show, but I can do that. I want to do the stunt. Well, that's nice. That's a nice theory, but you're a lead actor. You're not really trained in stunts. If you get hurt on the third day of filming, and you need 2 months to heal, then you've just screwed everybody else's paycheck.
Yeah,
for the person who just bought a house or put the kids in school or saved for that, spent money on the trip, or that kind of thing. So I as a person who did stunts, I have respect for all fields. Like we're all needed in certain areas, but I don't I don't try to get myself involved in, I'll do some, fighting and stuff like that. But when it comes to big dangerous stunts, I'll leave that to the stunt people, because again, if I'm, lead of a show or supporting or something like that and I get hurt, my thing is, okay, Mr. Big Bad Actor, except for Tom Cruise. But if you want to really do the stunt, do it on the last day.
Yeah.
Do it after we've all been paid.
Yeah.
So when you break your ass, it's just on you.
Yeah.
And your insurance company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's fair. It is kind of wild what he has been willing to do and insistent on doing, but that's him. He can do his own thing. Absolutely.
I'm past couple weekends, they've been playing the Mission Impossible series, and I've never seen. This guy's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed. I'm so amazed. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Yeah. He's in a league of his own. I was reading and stuff, and it says sometimes they create the stunt first and then try to create scenes to fill in where the stunts go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for the cruise.
the crazy of the cruise. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. The last thing that I saw him do was take a motorcycle off of a cliff.
Yeah.
And then he had the parachute, like, yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
It's not so much how, but why. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Millions of dollars. He can justify that, but when it comes to the fighting and stuff like that, we have some very talented stunt performers, and they know what they're doing. There's daredevils and there are stunt people, and there's a very big difference. Evel Knievel, he was a daredevil. We have, all great to the things that he's done, but the stunt people, they're very, another thing is with stunts, I really have a lot of respect for the female stunt performers, because many scenes I had done, I'm in a suit, I get thrown over a bar, I got knee pads under my suit, I got elbow pads, you can't see that, but the women, they're like in a spaghetti cocktail dress, nowhere to put the pads, and they're, and then you'll be falling down the stairs. Oh, okay, so hats off to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, they could only, I can only imagine, they could only hope for a scene where someone is fully clothed.
Yeah, I'm not rolling down the stairs in a cocktail dress or naked.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I have one time, but that's
complete. Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, because this has been an absolute blast, and I feel as though we could chat forever. But Boston Blue, it is premiering when this episode is released. It's premiering tonight, and when this episode here.
Yes, tonight.
Yes, tonight. Yes, exactly.
Tonight, right now.
Yes, exactly.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm excited to see your performance on screen. And is there anything that you want to tease or promote that's coming up in the near future at all?
Well, there is again, these NDAs just have you, so,
Yep.
I have it's a major game character coming up. It's like, well, what are you talking about? But maybe if I'm so lucky as to come back on your show sometime, I could explain that. But it's like a motion capture.
Okay. Yeah. You're getting me all excited, and you're gonna get my hopes up real quick.
I'll tell you when I come back. But
Fair enough.
Also, there's a series by did we talk about The Greatest?
No.
Okay, so The Greatest, which is on IMDb.
Right.
It's a 8-part series by MGM and Amazon Prime. I just finished filming that earlier this year. June is July, August, and I play it's about Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
And it's authorized by the Ali family, so it's not going to be some hearsay stuff. It's more. I still am very honored to be part of it. I play a real life character by the name of Archie Moore, who was a boxer that pretty much preceded Ali. Ali was, I think, in the 60s when he stopped boxing, like 62, 63, but a little previous to that. And I play that character, and it's called Archie Moore. It's called The Greatest. And maybe I can come and speak about that next time on your show.
I think that'd be an absolute blast. I would love that. Absolutely.
I have a question for you.
Oh, please.
What made you get into this gracious form of outlet for us, for creatives? What made you want to do? Because you do this well, and I'm like, just because you got a microphone and a headset and an idea, it doesn't mean it's going to be shit. So
that's fair.
It doesn't mean it's going to pan out.
That's absolutely fair. A brief explanation is I was 6 years old when I realized what I wanted to do. My father brought home a little microphone, a Fisher-Price microphone, and it was one of those things where you can like tune it to like the home stereo. And I knew that right there and then I wanted to be in radio. And so I started taking steps into becoming a radio personality. And I went so far as to take vocal coach classes, acting classes, improv classes. And my first radio gig, of all things, I never expected it, was talk radio. It was talk radio in Vancouver. And I fell in love with it because as much as I love music, I absolutely love the idea of listening to people's stories and telling stories, shooting the shit and getting paid for it. And from that point on, of my 22 years in the broadcast industry, 11 of them have been in talk radio.
Okay.
And I now work for a music radio station and 2 music radio stations. And so I have a music radio show, but I love doing this. I love meeting and chatting with people like you.
Yeah,
and
I can see that you enjoyed it. That's why I'm enjoying myself speaking with you, but that's what sparked me. Let me ask this guy, why do you do this? It's like, I see that you love this. When did you realize this was something for you? But myself, quickly, I believe my personality was pretty much decided by the time I was, I'll say 8 years old.
Yeah.
So what you see before you is my 8-year-old self just many years later. I don't believe I've changed. I still have the same curiosities that I've had. I know a lot more.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that I have changed. I've adapted.
Yeah.
But I feel the world has changed more than I have.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing, and I've said it before, the things that used to get me in trouble are now the very same things that, bless my life.
Amen.
Now I'm making living it, pissing the teacher off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, amount of times I've gotten in trouble for asking questions, too many questions in class.
How do you know? I wasn't being rude. I want to know. That's just the way it is. But no, like how do they?
I want to know more. Damn it.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah. See, yeah.
No, and that's. I appreciate you asking that question. I fell in love with the idea of being on the radio when I was 6, and then my first radio gig was talk radio. And that just opened the world up to me, and I haven't looked back. And this is why I do this online, because it gives me this opportunity to hear your story and to even tell stories or just share a few laughs with some people I would have never gotten the opportunity to otherwise, right? So
I don't think I would have gotten the opportunity to meet you. So it's like 8-year-old Dean is meeting
6-year-old JD.
Yeah, because you're still keeping that, in my opinion. Well, I know I'm keeping the 8-year-old kid in me alive, and he's what drives me. He's who I'll protect. He's who I finds the the sunset fascinating, finds planes, like all those things. I still find those things, like when I see a plane, I'm like, wow. I have a commercial pilot license, you know, but still when I see a plane fly, it's just, those things to me are still fascinating.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Stupid jokes, you know, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
I get it, absolutely, 100%. If I could one for one with you, I always had a fascination with big trucks. I'm a certified Class 1 truck driver.
Cool.
Like, so
you know, because I feel in your life, it's like live your best life, and I mean, I'm like, okay, again, what does that mean? I mean, be the best at everything. Like, you know, I find it's like, be if you're doing something that you really like doing, like JD it does and I do, we're doing pretty good.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't need to be a 6th level black belt or a marksman. I mean, I'm just a kid that is still curious and still loving the world, and I still get my heart broken in the sense of like, being nice to people, and then you realize this person hasn't all, but I'm not going to stop being me.
No, absolutely. Nothing should ever change that either.
Yeah, we're good guys. Come on.
Yeah, we try to be. All right. Where can people find you on social media if that's important to you?
Yes, it is important. You can find me on Instagram at Dean Redman, actually, and Twitter. I believe it's the Dean Redman. I really don't. It's been a long. I can't remember shouldn't say that, but it's been a while since I looked on Twitter. Maybe I'll go look at it today.
Fair enough.
And Facebook is Dean Redman. I when I do something on Instagram, it goes right to Twitter. Yeah. But and you can also find me on the TheMediajack show.
Yes, you can, right here. Thank you.
Friday.
On Friday. Today. This is
Friday.
Dean,
awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for making it to the end of this episode. Big thank you to you for watching, or for listening, or for checking out my website, TheMediajack.ca. There is where you can find other episodes, other content that I create, as well a link to the Patreon where you can support my show, all my work, directly. Also, where you could submit ideas, suggestions, or maybe you want to ask a future guest a question. Patreon is where you can go for all of that and so much more, and also get a shout out, just like Red Wolf Dawn, our executive producer for this month. Big thank you to you once again, and check out TheMediajack.ca.